Float fishing here on the Yama can really pay off again and again, especially because so many different fish bite here, fish that you often cannot find at all with spinning. So I'm standing here once again on the Yama with 3 match rods, and this has actually been running really well for several days now on a wide variety of baits. And this time, I went in very fine and very small, and originally I actually wanted to target only the smaller fish, like for example the rainbow smelt or also the ugui. And of course, I would also really like something like the long-nosed sucker chub, because these fish are worth it in terms of silver, and especially the long-nosed sucker chub, I still need that one as a trophy. So that would of course be exactly perfect if one of those would come in nice and big here. So first of all, searching and testing whether it actually bites here, whether it also runs at this spot. And in fact, the first sucker chubs are already here, but mainly there are huge numbers of rainbow smelt, and even in really good sizes. So that means if you're still looking for rainbow smelt here on the Yama, then this is definitely an option. However, I have been fishing double baits the whole time with bark beetle larvae and mayfly larvae. That's maybe a bit special. I have actually never fished like this here before. These are usually bait combinations that you know, for example, from the Donnets. But even this bait combination seems to deliver really well here. And especially, as I said, for the long-nosed sucker chub, this is not bad at all. And I am fishing relatively small here, meaning small hook sizes as well. We will of course take a look at the setup in a moment so that I can even hook the smaller fish at all, and so that I can also get feedback faster, what is actually biting here. However, I would say I will rebuild a bit right away because I do not need that much rainbow smelt anymore. Luckily, I have already checked that one off as a trophy. So after that, I will try at least towards the evening hours to fish a bit more specifically for the long-nosed sucker chub, and maybe I will be lucky and one of them will come in a bit bigger. So let us quickly see, what do we have here? Well, look at that. The first Dolly Varden char, that one was not here at all so far. And before we continue, I will rebuild the setup once again. So I am fishing super fine here with only 7.8 kilograms of fluorocarbon. So really fine and small, and also only with a size 8 hook. That means even a bigger fish with 3 kilograms already goes completely crazy here and escalates immediately. And because of that, I will now go a bit stronger, and this time with 9.7 kilograms. I think that should fit quite well. I will also go one size bigger on the hook to a size 6 hook. And I will also try different bait combinations. Mayfly larva and nightcrawler at 1.80 meters depth seems to work quite well here. I started earlier with 1.50 meters, 1.70 meters, and 1.80 meters. And yes, 1.80 meters actually delivered pretty well. So I will stay at 1.80 meters for now, and I will now adjust the entire setup step by step, hoping that larger fish will come in as well. And there we already have the first bite immediately on the new bait combination. That is always a very good sign. I also did not have the East Siberian grayling yet. Of course, I will gladly take that one as well. It probably took the fly rather than the worm. And now we already have the next one. Yes, that was to be expected. The chum salmon. Okay, we do not need that one. So quickly back out, rebait, and keep trying. And now, of course, throw out the third rod as well. We definitely need that one too. I will also rebuild that one quickly. A bit thicker again here. 9 kilograms line, size 4 hook in this case, mayfly larva, and we combine that with the cricket. Straight back out again. Once again at 1.80 meters depth. What is always important here when fishing on the Yama, especially with 3 float rods at the same time, is that you are constantly reeling. You constantly have to make sure that the rod which has drifted further does not drift too far away, because otherwise you will not be able to keep up anymore. So it's best to set yourself a limit, how far the floats are allowed to drift, and then you simply reel them back in. You can also simply use the line clip. So you just set the line clip to, for example, 20 meters, and then the floats drift a maximum of 20 meters. So that reeling in does not take too long. That is where a line clip really makes sense again and again. It would of course be really nice to also find a spot where the Ugui is running. So if you know a current spot where you can find the Ugui, feel free to write it in the comments. I would love to test it. Fishing for Ugui is simply worth it again. Also purely in terms of silver. A really beautiful fish. You can fish it very well for quantity. And as I said, absolutely worth it for silver. In terms of distance, I usually cast just slightly behind the rock here and then let it drift through in front, but you can also add some variation. So sometimes casting around 10 meters, sometimes more like 15 meters. So definitely always test a bit. I'm not using a line clip for distance here right now so that I can play around a lot and try many things. And there goes the next bigger one. And right here, the next one immediately after. But that one did not hook up. Yes, that is of course the classic bait combination here. Cricket and dung beetle works really well again and again. I also gladly take brachiomistax, especially earlier at the beginning. A brachiomistax already came in, and now here the next one. So I would happily take more of those, but then you would definitely have to go bigger with the setup. So maybe here with a size 1 hook or even a size 1/0 hook, and then on dung beetle and grasshopper. That is a really nice combination for brachiomistax, or also very much for Linnock. And right here again the next one. Yes, and this one also has a really nice weight and a beautiful Longnose Sucker chub. Yes, I would love more of these fish. I will now keep testing a bit more. But before I finish here, we will of course quickly take a look into the net. The nice thing is, you do not have to walk far here at all. So you can quickly check the cafe orders. Well, look at that, maybe another one goes in here as well. That is already pretty good. That is not bad at all. 174 silver. Yes, I still need a few more of those, but I will definitely get them together. And the chum salmon will surely not let me down either. So 3 cafe orders are still definitely possible. Overall, in terms of silver, this now looks like 300 silver in under 1 hour. And that is even with the night phase included. At night, things are always a bit slower, so those 10 to 15 minutes were also included there. So you can really do this quite well here. So just quickly run to the spot here, and then relax nicely, and pull out one fish after another with 3 rods. So from now on at the Yama, just do float fishing once again. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and then I will see you in the next video. Until then, tight lines.